Sitting nice and tall, lengthening the spine, lengthening the neck, allowing the eyelids to lower or completely close. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just staying here for a few mindful breaths, stilling the mind, calming things down, just slightly slowing things down, breathing in and breathing out. Like I always say, really imagine that that breath is filling up the belly, dropping down away from the chest and the shoulders, filling up the belly as we take a nice deep breath in. As we fill up the belly, we keep the spine engaged and lengthened. We keep lengthening through the neck and then bringing our attention to our shoulders, just dropping them down or beginning to circle them back and down. I always feel like I need to circle them a couple of times to actually get them to drop down. And just coming into the space, breathing in and breathing out. Feeling yourself rooting down through the earth, the ground beneath you. And then rising up through your spine. Noticing sounds and sensations around you and just allowing them to go on their way. Keeping that breath going, filling up the chest, filling up the belly. From here, with our eyes closed, we'll open up the practice by chanting 3 Oms. Taking a deep breath in here and letting it out. And that nice inhale and exhale going. Slowly blink the eyes open and drop the chin to the chest. And just start circling the head, half circles from one ear and shoulder to the other. Just gentle movements side to side. Just beginning to bring some attention, warmth and flexibility into our neck. Opening things up, stretching things out, keeping that half circle motion going. And then coming back to center, keeping the chin to the chest, sitting up nice and tall, and interlacing the hands just behind the head, allowing the hands to press down and the arms to hang heavy over the back of the head as we lengthen the spine and press into the hands, creating a lovely stretch that you should feel all the way down your neck and almost into your shoulders as well. Just breathing into those spaces. Keeping the belly breaths going, filling up the tight spaces with fresh air. Keeping that pulling motion there. And then releasing and bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Right hand wrapping around the left ear and left arm out just to steady on the left side. Keeping the gaze forward and gently pulling the head down towards the shoulder. Staying there for a few breaths, really breathing, bringing that breath. Imagine that it's helping to start release that muscle, those tight neck muscles, And then switch sides, rolling forward through the center. And then left ear comes to left shoulder. Left hand wraps around the right ear, keeping the gaze forward. Right fingertips just gently resting on the mat, keeping that gentle pulling sensation. Breathing in and out. And releasing, coming back to center, sitting up. Head is lifted, bringing the right hand outside of the right hip. Left arm reaches up and over. Gaze is up. Feeling that stretch all the way from the hip, all the way the outside of the waist, the rib cage, up the outside of the shoulder, up the arm and out through the fingertips. And then switching sides. Gaze is up. Left elbow left arm can be straight or bent, however far you need to go. Reaching up and out. We're going to take it side to side a few times. Very gently bringing the right hand down, reaching the left arm up. And then switching sides, so movement and breath. Bringing attention to those lower vertebrae and bringing that flexibility and movement in a very gentle, warming way to start the day, to start the week. So this is almost like a plant or a tree blowing in the wind. So it's coming from a strong base and root, but we're allowing it to move side to side. Gentle winds are moving it side to side. There we go, coming back to center and a nice little twist here. Left hand to the outside of the right knee, right hand just behind. A nice tall spine here as you inhale. And then on the exhale, a little twist, looking over the right shoulder. And then switching sides. And we're going to gently move side to side here. So gentle twist. As we're twisting, we want to do this carefully and mindfully. Just bringing that warmth and flexibility as you move side to side, loosening things up. Breathing as we go, breath and movement, connecting the two, being mindful with the breath and mindful with the movement. So we're working together with our bodies and our minds. And then coming back to center from here, just folding forward over your legs, resting your forehead down, reaching the arms forward. Forehead can come all the way down or can rest on the hands. Just folding forward here, breathing here. And then walking the hands over to the right side. Straightening out that left arm as much as possible. There'll be a natural bend in the right elbow. You can rest your forehead or the side of your head on your knee. Just feeling a nice stretch to the outside of the hip. And then walking the hands over to the other side. Right arm reaches. Left elbow's bent. Head rests down. And then coming back to the right side. This time bending the elbow and reaching that left arm up and over. So same stretch that we did before, but a little deeper and further down. If you can bend into that right elbow, reaching that left arm up and over. Very nice. And then coming to the other side, left elbow comes down, right arm reaches up and over. Lovely. Then coming back to center, sitting nice and tall, reaching the arms forward, interlacing the fingers, rounding out the back, rounding through the shoulders, dropping the head down, reaching the arms forward, actively reaching them as the back rounds out, breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Big shoulder rolls now, really big shoulder rolls, using the whole arm to roll the shoulders, opening up the front of the chest, and then bringing the hands just behind you, fingers facing backwards, squeezing the shoulders together and just dropping the head back to where it's comfortable, pushing the hips forward in the belly, creating a little back bend there, dropping the head back, where it's comfortable, squeezing the shoulders together, opening up that front line of the body, breathing here, inhaling and exhaling, releasing, just shaking out the hands, just moving the arms about, and then finding a way to a tabletop. If you want to put the music on, the playlist is in the WhatsApp group. I'm going to put mine on and just gently starting to move here in your tabletop. Moving side to side. Nice slow movements. Like an animal waking up in the morning, starting to stretch. When you observe animals, it's just so natural the way they move and stretch. Like my dog, actually, I need to video her when she's in action. She truly does a downward dog and an upward dog and a little spinal roll. Like it's just so natural to them to connect into their bodies as they're waking things up. Moving side to side, circling the hips one way, circling them the other way. And then sitting the seat back towards the heels into a child's pose, but just for a moment, just resting that head down for a moment, and then beginning to tilt the pelvis towards the belly and really rolling up and rounding through the spine, slowly moving vertebrae by vertebrae, walking the hands forward and sinking the hips down into a soft, gentle, upward facing dog. Looking up, breathing here, then looking over one shoulder, then looking over the other shoulder, and then rolling back. So pressing through the hands, rolling through the upper back, middle back, lower back, coming back into your child's pose, resting your forehead down just for a moment, arms are stretched forward, and then tilting the pelvis towards the belly button and rolling through the spine here, all the way through into your soft upward facing dog. The feet naturally move apart, just moving side to side here, moving the hips side to side, pressing the hands down into the mat, and then start to really press as you drop the head down and roll back through the spine into a nice neutral spine, a tabletop, and then moving here in through a few cat-cows, inhaling as you arch and look up, exhaling as you round out. Inhaling as you arch and look up. Exhaling as you round out. One more time. Inhaling as you arch and look up. Exhaling as you come back to a neutral spine, this time kicking your left leg back, just stretching that left leg back, really flexing the foot, kicking through the heel, keeping that leg straight, bend at the knee, press through your left hand and reach your right hand back, grabbing hold of your left foot, look back over your right shoulder, allow the foot to kick into the hand to stretch open that shoulder, building the heat, breathing here, and then release, bringing the right hand down, just moving side to side a little bit, and then kicking that right leg back, kicking through the heel, creating that strength there, that power, and then bending at the knee, reaching that left hand back, kicking the foot into the hand, looking back over that left shoulder, breathing here, and then releasing, coming down, tucking the toes under and stretching out the feet. So rocking back and forwards here, you can lift the knees or keep the knees down. The focus is really on the feet, to stretch through the toes and the soles of the feet. And yes, just like you're doing, Heather, you can turn your hands around. So you're stretching out your wrists as well, getting into all those places that take so much, that do so much all day long. Stretching them out, then releasing, tapping out the feet, turning the hands, turning the wrists, pressing the hands back down into the mat, then tucking the toes back under as we push back into our downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs here in the downward facing dog. Stretching and bending. One leg and then the other, stretching and bending. The shoulders, drawing them away from the neck and ears. The hands naturally pressing into the mat. Stepping the feet nice and wide as the mat, and reaching the left hand back outside the right ankle, and just pulling back, looking up under the armpit, gently pulling back, looking up, breathing here. Keep that breath flowing, and then pressing that left hand into the mat, reaching the right hand back. We want the breath, the inhales and the exhales, to be smooth and silky. In and out. Releasing that hand back down, step the feet about hip distance apart, just pedal them out a couple more times. And then on the next inhale, reaching that right leg up behind you, bending at the knee, opening out the hip, just staying here for a moment, feeling that opening and that stretch, and then beginning to circle from the ankle one way, circle the other way, and then a lovely big circle from the hip, one way, and then the other way. So nice. Keep that circling going, and then begin to square the hips, stepping that right foot through, bringing the back knee down, and just folding forward here, allowing the head to just hang down, adjusting the position of your front foot. I always need to walk mine forward and out a bit to feel comfortable in this lunge. And then just swaying gently. And then keeping the head forward, we're just going to straighten and bend that front leg. In and out of a half split. Flexing the foot as we go. Just gently moving the body, the hips back and forwards. Head isn't quite hanging down, but it's just resting forward. Moving back and forwards. This time, as we straighten the right leg, we're going to stay here for a few breaths, squaring the hips, folding forward over that right leg. It doesn't need to be completely straight. It can have a micro bend in the knee, or if you're working on straightening it, that's fine too. I definitely need to practice for longer before I can straighten that leg fully. Folding forward. Breathing here, inhaling. And exhaling. This time start to bend into that right knee and start to lift up the torso and the head, hands to hips, and just gentle pulses here. Opening up the hips. Squeeze the shoulders together, draw the elbows and the shoulders back. Gaze is lifted. And just gentle pulses here. Breathing here, inhaling. And exhaling. This time, reach the arms forward and up. And then interlace the hands just behind the head and allow the head to just rest back into the hands for a few breaths. Breathing here, inhaling. And exhaling, releasing the hands down, either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes under and step that right leg back into a downward dog, and just pedal the legs here. Move the hips side to side. And then inhale that left leg up high behind you. Lifting that leg up, bend the knee, open out the hip. And then begin circling the ankle here. Circling one way, circling the other way. And then lovely big circles from the hips. One big circle, another big circle, just warming things up. And then start to square off the hips. Step that left foot through, landing it between the hands, bringing the back knee down, adjusting the placement of your left foot, folding forward here, and just maybe moving gently from side to side, little swaying motions, and breathing here. And then we're going to start to straighten that left leg and bend. Hips move back and forwards, straightening and bending, keeping the gaze down. Hips moving back and forwards. Knee bending and straightening into a half split. Couple more times here. And then the next time, We straighten that left leg, just staying there, squaring the hips, folding forward, flexing that left foot, breathing into those hamstrings, inhaling and exhaling, staying for a few more breaths, breathing in and breathing out. This time bending into that left knee, starting to lift the torso, lifting up the head, hands to hips, and just pulsing gently, pulsing up and down. Squeezing the shoulders, hands pressing into the lower back, really opening up that chest, that heart center. Breathing here. Keeping the gaze up. And then releasing the hands down. Tucking the back toes under and stepping that left foot back into the downward dog. Walking the hands halfway up, the feet rather halfway up the mat. The hands can walk back towards the feet. And folding forward here, feet are about hip distance apart, micro bending, grabbing opposite elbows and just swaying. You can bend and straighten the legs or just keep them micro bent and just swaying from side to side. Head is really hanging down. Neck is not taking any weight here. Just breathing. Shoulders are hanging down. And then starting to release the hands, bending into that left knee, straightening the right leg, pressing the left hand down and reaching the right arm up, gazing up at the ceiling. Gaze is up, opening up to the right side, twisting around, gazing up, pressing the left hand down, and then switching sides, bending into that right knee, straightening the left leg, reaching that left arm up, gazing up, pressing the right hand down for stability, pressing through the feet, reaching the left arm up, breathing there, and then releasing. Bending both knees, starting to roll up very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling up and out. Rolling the shoulders back, taking a big circle with the arms, so reaching them forward and up. And then exhale as they circle round and down. One more time, reaching them forward and up. And then exhale, circle round and down. Gently stepping to the top of the mat, stepping the feet together, bringing the hands together into a prayer in front of the heart center. Setting an intention for your practice today and extending out the benefits of the practice to those around you that need it. People that are immediately around you, to your community. Breathing here. Gently opening the eyes, dropping the hands by your side, setting up for Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, press the palms, reach the arms up overhead, gaze is up. Exhale as you fold forward, press down. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. Exhale, step back, lower down through Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Staying here in your downward facing dog. Having gone through your first sun salutation, your body prayer, prayer to the sun, the sunrise, which is like a rebirth and a renewing, fresh start every day. Pressing the ground away from you, heels draw down to the earth. Maybe wiggle your toes, gaze at your toes, lift them up a little bit, wiggle them. Gaze back through the gap in the legs, move the head. However you want to move it, side to side, back and forwards. And then flubbering out the lips. One more inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, step the feet forward to meet the hands. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press the palms, rise all the way up, gazing up at the hands, reaching them up. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, pressing the palms, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward and touch down. Inhale, lengthen the spine and look forward. Exhale, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, press it back to downward facing dog. Staying here in your downward facing dog. Breathing here in your downward facing dog. Inhaling. And exhaling. Staying nice and still and just focusing on the breath, or keeping some movements going through the body. Moving the hips from side to side, bending or straightening one or other of your legs. And breathing in. And breathing out. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, step or jump the feet forward to meet the hands. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press the palms, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, arms by your side. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, bending the knees. Sitting low in your chair, pressing the palms, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward and touch down. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. And on the inhale, stepping the right foot forward, coming into warrior one. Press the palms, reach the arms up overhead. Bend the knee a little bit further. Inhaling. And on the exhale, release the hands down, either side of the front foot, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, step that left foot forward, coming into warrior one, pressing the palms, reaching the arms up. Bend that front knee a little bit more. Reach the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, release the hands down, stepping it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Staying here for 3 breaths. Breathing here, inhaling. And exhaling. Breathing in. And breathing out. On the next inhale, step that right foot forward, coming into a warrior one. Press the palms, reach the arms up overhead. Then exhale, open out to warrior two. Don't lose the bend in the front knee. Make sure that knee is at a right angle, straight over the ankle, and then reach it back, reversing the warrior. Keep that knee bent, reach that right arm back, up and back, gaze at the elbow crease or the palm of the hand. Breathe here, inhaling. Exhaling, bring the right elbow to the right knee, reach that left arm forward, gaze is up, breathing here. Inhaling. Exhaling, release that left hand down, parallel with the right foot. Lift the back heel up and open out to the right side. Gaze is up, opening things out, reaching up and gazing up. Exhale, release, bringing that right hand down, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog and step the left foot forward. Warrior one. Press the palms. Reach the arms up and gaze up. Then open out into a warrior two. Reaching from fingertip to fingertip, gazes forward. Breathe here and then reverse it back. Right hand slides down the back leg, reach that left arm up and over. And then exhale, releasing that left elbow to the left knee, reaching the right arm up and over, creating a long and strong straight line from the back heel all the way up the side of the body, out through the fingertips. Breathe here, then release that right hand down so it's parallel with the left foot and open out to the left side. Breathing here. Inhaling. Exhaling, releasing that left hand down, step it back, lower down chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Staying here for 2 or 3 breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Another breath in and out. On the next inhale, stepping that right foot forward, coming into warrior one, reaching the arms up. Then exhale, open out to warrior two. Bring that left arm up and in front of you, reaching the arms up, lifting the back heel up, coming into a nice high lunge here. Sinking down a little bit. Bringing the hands in front of the heart center into a prayer. Push the weight forward into the right leg, coming up into a warrior three. Creating a strong balancing leg. Back leg is straight out behind you, kicking out through the heel. Gaze is fixed. Holding it here, breathing here. Hands can remain in a prayer or any variation that suits you. Starting to lift up, draw that left knee in front of you. Bending the knee, drawing that left knee in front of the chest. And then coming from here into a tree pose. So opening out the knee and bringing the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Holding the ankle there or bringing the hands into a prayer. Or reaching them up over your head. Gaze is up. Energy is lifted. Breathing here. Just holding it here. Just finding that balance, that stillness. Breathing here. And then start to draw that left knee up and in front of the chest. Just hold it for a moment with your hands. And then moving that left leg back behind you, kicking that leg behind you. Reach back with your left hand, kicking the left foot into the left hand, moving through into your dancing warrior. Kicking the left foot into the left hand and then gently folding forward. Really kicking before folding. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Start to release, coming into a Tadasana. Just shaking everything out, shaking the legs out, shaking the hands out. Breathing here. And then moving through your Surya Namaskar, be bending the knees, pressing the palms, reaching the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, touch down. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. And step that left foot forward into warrior one. Press the palms, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, open out to warrior two. And then moving into a high lunge. So lifting the right arm up, left arm up, lifting the back heel up and just sinking a little bit lower into your high lunge. Then drawing the hands in front of the heart center into a prayer. Start to push forward into that left leg, moving into a warrior three. So lifting the back leg up high behind you, squaring the hips, finding something to focus on, your dristi, so you're not moving, kicking that right leg back behind you, kicking out through the heel, breathing here, holding it for a moment, then starting to lift up the torso, drawing the right leg up in front of you, keeping the hands here in a prayer or holding onto the knee, then opening out the knee to the side and bringing the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, coming into your tree. Hands are in prayer or arms are lifted or just holding onto the ankle. Wherever you are is fine. Lifting the gaze a little bit, breathing here, finding the balance, breath and body working together. And releasing the hands down, drawing the right knee in front of the chest, holding it for a moment in the front, and then starting to move it back behind you, Kicking the right foot into the right hand, reaching the left arm up, and really kicking before folding forward into your dancing warrior. Finding something to focus on, focusing, balancing, breathing. And when you're ready, just release, coming into Tadasana, just shaking out the feet, shaking out the hands, breathing here. Bending the knees, pressing the palms, reaching the arms up, staying here in your chair pose for a moment. Breathing here. And then on the next exhale, twisting to the right side. Sitting low in your chair, making sure your toes and heels are touching, your knees are level, your hands are pressing, looking up, twisting to the right. And then on the next inhale, reach the arms up through center and twist it around to the left side. Sitting a little lower through the seat, using the hands to help take that twist a bit further, looking up over the left shoulder, breathing here. And then on the next inhale, reach the arms up through center and exhale, fold forward and touch down. Inhale, lengthen the spine and look forward. Exhale, step it back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up high behind you. Bend the knee and step it through to land between the hands. Bringing the back knee down, hands to hips just for a moment. Then reaching that left arm up. Twisting it round to the right side. Tucking the back toes under, lengthening that back leg, or keeping the knee down if you need to. Twisting to the side, taking the twist a little bit further. Breathing here. Gaze is up. Inhaling and exhaling. And then releasing the hands to the inside of the right foot and coming into a high lizard. Moving in your lizard, where does your knee and foot need to be? Your knee could be lifted or your knee could be down. Hips are gently swaying from side to side. You can keep your arms straight here or you can come down to elbows and forearms. Whatever feels right for you today during this practice. Keeping that gentle swaying going. And then lengthening the arms, pressing the hands into the mat, tucking the back toes under and stepping that right foot back into a downward dog. Just moving a couple of times in your downward dog. Then inhaling the left leg up high behind you, stepping it through to land between the hands, bringing the back knee down, hands to hips, and then reaching that right arm up, twisting to the left side, pressing the hands into a prayer, tucking the back toes under, lengthening that back leg if that's what you need to do today. Gaze is up, breathe here, keep twisting. One more breath. And then releasing the hands to the inside of the left foot for a lizard. Coming down to elbows and forearms. Just keeping some nice movements going here. And breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. When you're ready, tucking the back toes under, lengthening the arms, pressing the hands into the mat, stepping that left foot back into your downward dog. Pedaling the legs. Inhaling the right leg up high behind you and sweeping it through for pigeon. Right knee comes close to right wrist, toes come close to left wrist. Just taking a breath as we lengthen the spine. And then exhale as you fold forward. Resting the forehead down. And just allowing the muscles around the hips and the thighs to open, release, breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. the mind and the attention and focus back to the breath. And then starting to lift up, walk the hands back towards the hips, sweeping that back leg all the way around for a seated spinal twist. Left foot lands outside the right knee, left hand lands behind the seat, reaching that right arm up and twisting around to the other side. Up as you inhale, twist as you exhale. Very nice. Then release, walking the hands around to the other side. Take a moment here. And then cross, tuck, jump, however you can make it back into your downward dog. And then lifting that left leg up high behind you, bending the knee, sweeping it through for a pigeon on the left side. Lifting everything up as you breathe in, filling up the lungs, and then exhale as you walk the hands forward. Reaching the arms forward or creating a little pillow. Breathing. Letting go here. Just breathing in and out. Focus is on the inhale and the exhale. And start walking the hands back towards the hips, bringing that back leg all the way around, coming into your seated spinal twist. Right hand behind you, left arm lifts up, twist it round to the right, lengthen and twist. Inhaling and exhaling. And then de-twist, coming around to the other side. And then stepping or jumping the feet back and finding your way into a plank. Just holding a plank for a few breaths. Rounding out the shoulders, protracting the shoulders. Breathe in here and then very slowly exhale as you lower all the way down to the belly. Moving from here into Shavasana. Just beginning to open things up. If Shavasana is not for you this morning, just bending at the elbows and coming into a low Cobra. That's enough for a low back bend sometimes. Otherwise, reaching the arms back, lengthening the legs, reaching back and stretching the spine and the neck forward, breathing here, holding it. And then exhale, releasing down. From here, rolling onto your back, coming into some back bends of choice, whatever kind of back bends you're working on. I just really enjoy doing a bridge at the moment, bending the knees, soles of the feet towards the seat, grazing the back of the knees with your fingertips, and then beginning. You can do some pelvic tilts first before lifting up, or just coming straight up, lifting the hips up. I like to bend at my elbows and create a shelf for my hips, or you can squeeze your shoulders together, interlace your hands underneath you, pressing them into the mat, pushing the hips up, breathing here. And then exhale, releasing down, staying down for one inhale and one exhale. And then doing that again, coming up for another bridge. Lifting up the hips, pressing the feet into the mat, holding that there, breathing here. And then releasing down, drawing the knees into the chest, hugging the knees, moving gently from side to side. And whilst we're here with our knees bent, we'll just do an upside down pigeon. So keeping the left knee bent, crossing the right ankle over on top of the left knee, and then grabbing underneath the left thigh and just pulling towards you You can keep moving from side to side here, but pulling that left thigh and knee towards you. And then switching sides, bending the right knee into the chest, left ankle comes on top of the right knee and just under the thigh, pulling that knee towards you, opening out the thighs, the left thigh rather, moving gently from side to side and breathing. And then releasing, holding both knees. Begin to rock up and down and coming into a seated forward fold. Paschimottanasana, lengthen the legs, flex the feet, move the flesh out from under the seat, reach the arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Peace fingers could be wrapped around big toes, hands could be wrapped around shins, ankles, heels, gazes towards the toes, and gently folding forward here. Head can rest down on the knees. Breathing here, keeping the breath going, keeping the focus and attention on the breath. Big breaths, even if your belly is compressed, your throat, your chest, drawing in that breath. And start to release. From here, coming to lay down on your back. Moving into your shoulder stand or elevated legs. Legs can be up like this, supported by your hands just below your seat. You can lift everything up, bending at the elbows, coming into shoulder stand. Wiggling the toes, circling the ankles. And then when you're ready, allowing the legs to fold over the head, Halasana. I'm going to come out of it because it's kind of hard to talk in that position. Squeezing the shoulders together, interlacing the fingers. Feeling the back of the neck stretching. Toenails touching down. And then when you're ready, bending the knees either side of the ears. Squeezing the ears a little bit, if that's available. And then when you're ready, releasing your hands, using them to press into the mat as you slowly roll out with control. Coming all the way out with great control, lowering the legs down towards the mat, using your hands, pressing into the mat, engaging the core, and coming into your Matsyasana fish pose, bending the elbows, dropping the head back, inhaling to the crown of the head, breathing in through the nose. And big breath, exhale through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. The big exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose. And a big exhale through the mouth. Coming out of your Matsyasana, anything you want to do before Shavasana. What's really nice here is happy baby, drawing the knees into the chest, grabbing outside edges of the feet, and just moving the hips from side to side, massaging the lower back, maybe straightening one leg and then the other, just moving from side to side. Circling the ankles. And then very slowly beginning to release. Find your way into your Shavasana. Legs straight out in front of you, feet falling open, palms facing the ceiling. Making your adjustments around your shoulders if you need to, maybe moving your head from side to side. And just taking more shallow breaths here. Bringing your mind back to your breath. Giving yourself this space and this time. Breathing here. Starting to bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes, hands and feet. Reaching the arms up over the head, stretching, full body stretch, breathing in here, letting it out with a big sigh. Drawing knees into your chest, rolling over to one side, finding your way to a comfortable seated position. Together we'll close the practice by singing together Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may my thoughts, words and actions somehow contribute to that freedom and happiness of all. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bringing your hands to a prayer in front of your heart center. Bowing your head to your hands, knowing and trusting